It feels like one of them has to go for the betterment of Australian rugby, I should say.
Oh,
one of them has to go.
I think that's too convenient to say that. There's nothing wrong with staying inside a very highly competitive model and seeing how people react under pressure and then finding a way to make it work for them. I think what it's going to provoke, Tom Liner now is going to be as hungry as he's ever been to make sure he holds on to that 10 spot. Carter Gordon's clearly coming back to prove a point, wants to play for the province that he didn't want to necessarily leave, went to the Rebels for an opportunity, was playing some great rugby, international standard rugby at 10. I think it's and Les Kiss wants control of as many bodies as he can. I don't think every player needs to find the easiest path to a starting jumper every time they sign a contract. Sometimes players make decisions to be in good programs, to be next to the next Wallaby coach for a year in Super Rugby, or to be in a province that's clearly on the way up as well. That has its own attraction about it, and it's not just the starting position. I don't think necessarily Rugby Australia or Australian rugby or the Wallaby jersey is going to suffer when you see Tom Liner and Carter Gordon having a duel for 10, and then Carter possibly transitioning into 12 to have a big body next to Tom. He's league, right? He's running flat lines at big bodies at league for the times that he did. He's much more comfortable now taking the ball to the line. He's a big human, big strong kid, big confident man too. You see him in footage now. He's clearly galvanising people around him. It wasn't so long ago that he was, although tall, hard to notice. Now he's a big boy.
If he ends this spring tour, Carter Gordon that is, as the starting 10 for the Wallabies, you expect that he goes to Queensland, he has to start at 10 for Super Rugby next year?
No, I don't think so. I think this is a bit of a storm in a teacup conversation, because what the Reds are doing is different to what the Wallabies are doing. So we can't expect that we pick them exactly the same, because their attack shape, their attack system, their defence shape, their defence system might not suit a player at 12 or 13 or at fullback or at 10. So I think the Super Rugby is, the teams are at their absolute right to pick who they need to support their 10. Okay, so say you have Liner and you have Carter, they're both playing out of their skins, they look amazing. So you're going to put one on the bench, or because Carter can play 15, would you put him at 15 because you both want them on the field? I'd probably do that. I think that's a pretty good fix if you don't have a better alternative. If Carter's absolutely killing it, and I still really like Jock Campbell, but he's absolutely killing it. Why wouldn't you have him at 15? And then if Tom Liner needs to go off, then you can slip him straight into 10 as the back of the game develops and goes on. I think it's really important to think about that. Well, we saw Hamish Stewart on the bench for the Wallabies last week. He's not a 10, but he's covering 10 for the Wallabies. Now he plays 12, but he can cover 10 because that's what they see as a fit for their team, which the Wallabies at the moment, that works for them. So I think that idea needs to be thought about when Super Rugby teams are being picked. It's like, okay, well, we want, we need players in a system that's going to work for them, for the team to ultimately do as well as they possibly can. Not just because we need them to play in a certain position, because that's what works for the Wallabies, and it might be completely out of the shape, the feel that player, might be in.